Hey everyone, my name is John. I'm the founder and owner of PAC Coaching. You can find me on Instagram as well. And this is the very first episode of what I'm calling the Whiteboard Session. This is a weekly talk about performance training, planification, coaching decision, and like everything that can matter and impact a performance training program. The goal of these kind of sessions is really simple. I want to answer questions, objections, doubts, or hesitation from a parent, an athlete, or a coach. Is to give like real practical insight. And I want to bring also some clarity to how we train at the PAC. What is my philosophy? What's my system? What I believe in? So you guys can have like a better understanding, but also maybe like answering some question you might have or anything, so you can become a better athlete, a better coach, or a better parent. What is really important to me, I will never claim that I have the one truth, right? I'm sharing my own perspective. That perspective has been built on years of coaching, education, and working with hundreds of athletes in the field. Also collaborate with physiotherapists, sport doctors, other coaches. And I think, if you have like a different take, I love that, because I think the more we share, the more we can keep learning together and we can keep evolving together. So the purpose of this talk right now is really to answer some of your questions. And the question I got today is, I really hear it from a lot of different athletes and even coaches, is, do athletes need to test their 1RM? So 1RM is a 1 rep max. And when you think about it, that opens up even more question, right? Like, should we test at all? Should we assess? If so, when? How often? Which exercise? What the key performance indicator we will be using? But today, to keep it short, because I really want to keep those whiteboard session short and straight to the goal, we will stay focused on the heart of the question. Do athletes actually need to test their 1 rep max? Uh, I would say yes, but context matters. Here's my take. Yes, 1RM are, I would say, valuable, but this value is always contextual, right? So let's start with the benefits. It's a great way to assess through maximal strength, right? Because if I'm testing my 1 rep max, I can test the maximal effort I can provide for a specific exercise. It gives us also a clean data point to program percentages. Percentages is one of the tools you can use to program the weight, the intensity you want someone to execute during a program or a planification. So it gives you like a clean data, right? It can also reveal some imbalances or weak points from an exercise to another exercise, or in comparison to a group of players for the same position or same sports. It also absolutely helps track long-term progress. If I test someone on January 1st and I retesting him on June 1st with the same exercise, and you can see that the load has increased, you can easily conclude that he gained strength, right? But on the same time, there are real downside to testing 1 rep max. First of all, it takes time, right, to warm up well, to get the athletes ready to perform a 1 rep max. And it's hard sometimes to manage the amount of warm-up you should do to test it, or you just like fatigue yourself too much. Another downside is 1 rep max testing carries injury risk if it's done too often or without the proper preparation, or if your athlete is not advanced enough to actually try his max the right way. So I would say it's not easy to get the right people at the right time performing on 1 rep max. It creates fatigue that can kill the rest of the training week, depending on how hard you get there and how often. It's not necessary for every athlete to me in every block. And honestly, another point is most athletes don't need to grind for a PR to know they are progressing. So these are, like, I would say, the benefits and downside. And then there is also my own perspective, my PAC coaching approach. And at the PAC, here's what we do, here's what I prescribe. I don't test strict 1RM just for the sake of it. Instead, I use different methods. Like I can work for like 7 RM, 5 RM, 3 RM doubles, and also, you know, like getting some progression the athletes can follow through periodization model, for example. What I like to do is disguising some testing through, for example, okay, let's go for 4 heavy reps, but you think it's a 5 RM. So they are stopping when the quality would decrease. Then on another week, I say, okay, now you're climbing for a top 3 sets. And another week, maybe I will say, okay, now you have like a doubles. The first rep is a heavy single, should be like a fucking quality rep. And the second one, it's a grinding. And then, you know, like using this, we look progress through submax lift, volume PRs, movement quality, bar speed, and RPE improvement. RPE, it's a rate of perception effort. And getting stronger is not always, and not most importantly, the weight on the bar. It's actually how you're moving that weight. Which control do you have? Which range of motion do you have? How the bar is moving. And more importantly, we test when we test this when the blocks were designed calls for it, right? We never like force something. If you feel good, just, you know, like sometimes push it harder and go for it, right? But so you might see some 1RM testing in some phases or at the end of this particular block where we want to get like a fresh percentage baseline. And to me, also, we should like slower the will of some athletes to get their ego boost, because it's much more ego stuff to test 1RM that it's actually providing really good baseline in most cases. This is contextual as well. But during, you know, like in-season work or GPP or post-injury phase, there is not a chance I will do that with my athletes, right? And that's part of my coaching principle. My core principle is simple. If we're not measuring, we're guessing. And I hate guessing, you know. I want to have like some stuff I can rely on. But that doesn't mean we need to grind out a 1RM every 4 weeks or that even close. There are smarter ways to track strengths and progress, okay? So do athletes need to test their 1RMs? Sometimes yes, but only with the right athlete, in the right block, for the right reason. And I'm really curious about your opinion as an athlete. Why do you need to test 1RM? Is there other method I talked about or other ones that you will be using. Like, for example, I'm using also the velocity curve sometimes, tracking the bar speed. So let me know if you're using also other methods. If you're a coach with a question for the next whiteboard session, drop it below, shoot me a DM. If you like that format as well, let me know. If you want add something, just feel free to just comment, because I'm really open to discussion about those topics. Okay, this is a really like open talk, give you my own perspective through my experience, but I really want to be open. If you're an athlete, a coach, or a parent, and you want to stop guessing as well, you with your training, and you want to build like a proper plan that will actually make you stronger, faster, or more powerful, just DM me and I will show you how we do it at the PAC, and we can have like a discussion to get there.